Greetings, sons and daughters of our Holy Father, Saint Dominic. A happy feast day to our beloved saint. Today is August 4th, the traditional feast of Saint Dominic. While it is an interesting story why his feast is today, I have another story for you. This is a story of the multiplication of wine, of the angel who guided him one night, and of the novice whom he freed from a temptation. It is a fitting story for such a great celebration. All ye holy Dominicans in heaven, ora pro nobis, Saint Dominic, ora pro nobis. It was the same venerable father's, Saint Dominic, unvarying custom to spend the entire day on behalf of souls, in diligent preaching, hearing confessions, or performing other works of charity. In the evening he would visit the sisters, and, in the presence of the brethren, instruct them about the order. One evening, when it grew so late that it seemed certain he would not come, the sisters finished their prayers and retired to the dormitory. Suddenly the brethren rang the bell, which was the signal to summon the sisters whenever the Blessed Father came to visit. When they heard it, all the sisters hurried to the church, and, opening the door, they found him sitting there with the brethren waiting for them. Blessed Dominic said to them, "My daughters, I have been fishing, and the Lord has given me a very large fish." He was referring to Brother Gaudio, a Roman, just received into the order, the only son of a famous noble named Alexander. Then he gave them a lengthy conference, which brought immense consolation. And after finishing, he said, "It would be a good thing, my daughters, to taste a little wine." Then he called Brother Roger, the cellarer, and told him to bring some wine and an empty cup. When the brother brought them, he told him to fill the cup. After blessing it and drinking some himself, he passed it along to all the brothers present. Counting both the clerical and lay brothers, there were 25 present. And although each one drank as much as he wanted, the cup never became empty, but remained entirely full. After all the brethren had taken theirs, Blessed Dominic said, "I want my daughters to taste some." Then he called Sister Nubia and said to her, "Go to the cask with a cup, and give all the sisters some wine." She left with another sister, and returned with the cup filled to the brim. And although it was completely full, not one drop spilled. And then all the sisters took some, first the prioress, then the others, as much as they wanted. Well, Blessed Dominic kept saying all the while, "Drink up, my daughters." In all there were 104 sisters, and each of them took as much as she wanted of the wine, yet the cup remained full, as though new wine was being continually poured into it. Then he had them return the extra cup, which remained as full as it was when they first brought it. No one knows to this day what happened to those 2 cups. When this was over, Blessed Dominic said, "The Lord wants me to go to Santa Sabina." When they heard this, Brother Tancred, the prior, Brother Otto, chaplain of the sisters, the other brethren, and the prioress and sisters tried to dissuade him. "Holy Father, it is almost midnight. It would not be advantageous to leave here now." But he would not listen to them, and said, "Since it is the Lord who wants me to set out, he will send his angel to escort me." Seeing that he would not change his plan, Brother Tancred, the prior of the brethren, and Brother Otto, chaplain of the sisters, set out with him. When they reached the door of the church, there suddenly appeared, in keeping with Blessed Dominic's promise, a handsome youth standing near the door and holding his hand a staff, as though prepared for a journey. Then Blessed Dominic told his companions to walk behind the youth, while he himself would walk behind them. When they reached the church of Santa Sabina, they found its doors closed and securely barred, but the youth who had led the way pulled on one of the doors, which immediately opened. Then he entered, followed by the 2 brethren and Blessed Dominic. When all were inside, the youth departed, and the door was closed and left in the same condition as they had found it. Then Brother Tancred and Blessed Dominic, "Holy Father, who was the young man who came with us?" And he answered, "My son, it was an angel of the Lord who sent him to guide us." When the bells sounded for matins, the brethren came to choir, and finding Blessed Dominic and his companions there, they wondered how they could have entered with the doors barred. Now there was in that convent a young novice from Rome by the name of Brother James, who, as a result of a severe temptation, had decided that, as soon as the doors of the church were opened after matins, he would leave the order. When this was revealed to Blessed Dominic, he decided to forestall him. Accordingly, when matins were over, he called the young man and spoke to him very kindly, pleading and exhorting him not to be misled by the tricks of the enemy into leaving this holy society, but to persevere in service of Christ. But his pleas and advice fell upon deaf ears, for the young man stood up, and removing his habit, declared that he had made up his mind to leave the order. Then, with fatherly understanding of the violent temptation assailing the young man, Blessed Dominic said to him, "My son, just wait a few minutes. After that, do as you wish." Then he prostrated himself in prayer. What followed gives us an idea of the influence Blessed Dominic had with God, and how easily he could obtain from God whatever he wished. Hardly had he finished his prayer than the young man, who had been so sorely tired, burst into tears, and falling at his feet, asked for forgiveness and for the return of the habit he had flung aside under the onslaught of temptation, promising never again to leave the order. Then the venerable father reclothed him in the habit of the order, at the same time warning him never to yield to such temptations, but to remain firm in the service of Christ. Aided by the merits of his intercessor, that novice from then on spent a long and laudable life in the order. In the morning, Blessed Dominic returned with his companions to San Sisto. There, in his presence, the companions told Sister Cecilia and the other sisters everything that had happened. To all of it, Blessed Dominic nodded assent and added, "My daughters, God's enemy planned to snatch one of the Lord's sheep, but the Lord freed him from his hands."